My sister threw a giant kids' brunch. Face paint, magician cupcake tower. 89 kids got invites. Except my daughter. When I asked why, my mom said, "She's too sensitive, she wouldn't have enjoyed it." I just nodded. I did this instead. 3 weeks later, the party photos disappeared. And so did her business license. 89 kids. That's how many children Claire invited to her daughter's ridiculous brunch party. It had a face painter, a magician, a petting zoo, a balloon arch that stretched across the entire backyard, and a cupcake tower taller than most of the kids there. It looked like a high-end wedding reception for toddlers. And not a single detail was missed on social media. She made sure of that. But what she didn't post, what she didn't say anywhere, was who wasn't invited. My daughter. Lily is 9. Quiet, gentle, brilliant in her own way. She's not the loudest in the room, and she's definitely not the kind of kid who demands attention. Maybe that's why they never liked her. Claire's kids, by comparison, are walking sound effects. Always screaming, always breaking something, always being rewarded for it. I've spent years watching my daughter get passed over, get ignored, get told to go play outside, while the rest of the kids opened gifts or had cake. I let it go too many times. But this was different. I didn't find out from Claire, or my mom. I found out from another mom at school who asked if Lily was excited about the big party this weekend. I said I hadn't heard about it. She looked confused, awkward, like she just realized she stepped into something. That's when I knew. I called my mother. Asked if she knew about it. She said yes, like it was obvious. When I asked why Lily wasn't invited, she said, "She's too sensitive. She wouldn't like it." She said it like she was protecting her. Like Lily was the problem. I didn't argue. I just nodded, said, "Okay," and hung up. I felt something inside me lock into place right then. Something cold. Something final. I didn't tell Lily. That weekend I took her out for sushi, then to the bookstore. She picked out a graphic novel and a puzzle, and we sat on the curb eating ice cream like nothing was wrong. She was happy. She had no idea 89 of her classmates and cousins were laughing in Claire's backyard without her. That they were eating cupcakes and watching a magician and taking pictures in front of a glitter backdrop while her name wasn't even mentioned. 3 weeks later, Claire's party photos disappeared from Instagram and Facebook. All of them. Like they'd never existed. Her business license. Gone too. Just vanished from the state registry. She didn't know it yet, but this wasn't the work of some glitch or bureaucratic error. This was just the beginning. Because if they were going to treat my daughter like she didn't exist, I was going to show them what it looked like when someone really disappeared. Claire's business was called Sprinkle and Shine. A party planning service for high-end kids events. Balloon garlands, animal rentals, mini donut walls. The whole ridiculous Pinterest circus. Most of her clients found her through Instagram. That's where she lived. She didn't just post the parties. She posted the prep, the outfits, the behind-the-scenes chaos that somehow always looked curated. Her captions were smug, her hashtags endless, and her tone? Like she was the CEO of childhood itself. That brunch party was supposed to be her masterpiece. And maybe it would have been if she hadn't decided my daughter didn't belong there. 3 days after the party, I submitted my first report. Copyright violations. It wasn't hard. She used licensed characters on banners without permission, a Disney princess playlist playing loudly in her videos, and even a backdrop with a company's trademarked logo. All of it is common in the kids' party world, but technically, all of it is illegal. Instagram took the bait fast. By the end of the week, her page was shadow banned. Then the takedown started. Video after video flagged. Her photos started disappearing, not all at once but slowly. Enough to cause confusion. Enough to make people ask questions. Then came the anonymous tip to the city. She'd been running her business from home without the correct zoning permit. Neighbors had complained before, mostly about traffic and noise, but I gave them the push they needed. The right forms, the right language, the right tone to sound like a fed-up resident who'd had enough of petting zoos and parking chaos every Saturday. Her business license was flagged for review. Temporarily suspended, the notice said. Claire posted a black screen on her Instagram stories with white text. Jealousy is a disease. Get well soon. Subtle. As usual. She didn't know it was me yet. She thought maybe it was a competitor, maybe an algorithm glitch. But I could see it starting to crack. He stopped posting so much. Her bookings slowed. One mom canceled after asking why she couldn't find the brunch photos anymore. Claire tried to spin it, said she was revamping her brand. But you could hear the panic in her voice when she talked to my mom on the phone. My mom, of course, took her side immediately. She's under a lot of pressure, Monica. Why can't you be more supportive? I didn't bother responding. I just stared at her. Supportive? After what Claire did to Lily. After years of treating my daughter like some fragile inconvenience while praising her own kids for existing loudly? The next Sunday we were all at my parents' house for dinner. Claire didn't look at me once. Barely acknowledged Lily. My dad tried to pretend everything was fine like always. My mom asked Lily what she was reading these days and then cut her off before she could finish her sentence. It was like watching a bad play you've already seen too many times. That night, while Lily was brushing her teeth, I asked her what she wanted to do for her birthday this year. She said, maybe we could bake cupcakes and invite some friends over? I told her we could do that. But quietly, in the back of my mind, I was planning something else. Not for her party. For Claire's next one. If there was going to be a next one. 2 weeks later, Claire announced a new event on her business page. It was supposed to be a woodland fairy brunch for a high-profile client. Some local influencer mom with twins and a brand deal with a baby food company. Claire hyped it up for days. She posted sneak peeks. Fairy wings drying in her garage, flower crowns on mannequins, pastel mushrooms made of foam. It was supposed to be her comeback after the so-called glitch. I let her finish setting it all up. The day before the event, everything was in motion. Vendors scheduled, ponies booked, the entire setup confirmed with the client. Claire even posted a smug little story, "You can't dim what still shines." So I made one phone call. I contacted the client's management. An email from a new Gmail I made with a little evidence attached. Screenshots of the zoning violations. Screenshots of the reported copyright issues. A PDF of a filed but pending complaint about unsafe event practices due to overcrowding and unsanitary animal handling. None of it was made up. It was just rearranged. Presented the right way. The client pulled out at 8 p.m. that night. Claire lost her mind. She posted a furious, barely coherent rant on her story, deleted it, then reposted a long open letter about betrayal, lies, and certain people who can't stand to see others rise. Her comment section exploded. Some backed her, others asked questions she couldn't answer. By Monday, 2 vendors had cut ties with her. She went quiet after that. I assumed she'd pieced together that someone was targeting her. But even then she didn't come to me. He went to our mother. My mom called me that night. Said Claire was devastated. That her business was her livelihood. That family should never do things like this to each other. She actually said that with a straight face. I asked her, so excluding Lily from that party, that wasn't doing something like this to family? She said, that's not the same thing. You're being dramatic. That was the moment something shifted. Something final. I had still been holding back. A little. But after that call I stopped. I went through the accounts. Claire's online payment systems were tied to a shared account we once used for a family vacation fund. A mistake she apparently never corrected. And guess who was still listed as an admin? She was about to find out just how dramatic I could be. The payment system was still under an old Square account we'd set up years ago to collect funds for a family reunion that never happened. Claire had taken it over without telling anyone. I only remembered it because I got a random tax form for it last year and had to call support to untangle it. Turned out they never removed me as an administrator. So I logged in. At first I just looked. Bookings, transactions, client names, notes. Some of them were big, $2,000 deposits, full prepayments for themed packages. Claire had a wait list stretching into fall. She was hanging on by threads. Then I saw something else. Refund requests. A few parents asking about their money back after abrupt cancellations. It wasn't many, but it gave me an idea. I issued one refund. Just one. A large one from a high-profile mom I recognized from local news. I sent a polite email under the name Admin Team, apologizing for the scheduling conflict and promising a full refund would be processed within 3 to 5 days. Claire got the alert instantly, I'm sure. She must have thought it was a glitch. But when she tried to reverse it, she couldn't. I'd locked her out. Changed the admin email, updated security questions. I waited until she started losing it on social. Her stories were a mix of crying selfies and vague threats. Then she showed up. At my door. Unannounced. She didn't even knock, just pounded like she was trying to break through it. Lily was upstairs, thank God. I opened the door just enough to see her face. Red, smeared mascara, shaking. She didn't ask. She screamed. Said I'd ruined her life, her reputation, her business. That I was jealous. That this was because my weird little daughter didn't get an invitation. I didn't yell back. I just stepped outside, shut the door behind me, and told her flatly that if she ever came to my house again without being invited, I'd involve the police. He called my mom the minute she left. The next day I got a family group text. Something I hadn't seen in months. My dad, mom, Claire, and me. One sentence from my father. Monica, we need to talk about how you're treating your sister. That was it. Treating her. Like I hadn't spent years watching them treat Lily like she was something inconvenient. Like I hadn't smiled through 100 passive-aggressive dinners, hundreds of small humiliations. So I went back into the system, and I pulled every single one of her active invoices. Sent a message to each client, offering full refunds due to unexpected structural changes in the company. I attached a formal-looking PDF about temporary business closure pending review, added a few links to recent policy changes for home-based businesses in our area, and clicked send. That afternoon, Claire posted something that finally surprised me. A photo of Lily. From years ago. She'd screenshotted a photo I'd posted when Lily was 5, dressed as a fox for Halloween. Claire captioned it, "This child has destroyed my entire life." That post stayed up for 2 hours. Then someone reported her account. It was taken down. Not by me. That part was unexpected. The photo of Lily stayed up for just under 2 hours. Claire had posted it in a blind rage. An old picture she pulled from my social feed, back when Lily was 5 and dressed as a fox for Halloween. Under it she wrote, "This child has destroyed my entire life." I stared at it for a minute, not because I was shocked by what she said, but because I finally saw her clearly. She wasn't just cruel. She was unwell. Something in her had always resented my daughter for existing differently. And now, with her business falling apart, with clients walking away and vendors ghosting her, she needed a target. Someone to blame. She chose a child. I didn't have to lift a finger. Someone else reported the post. It violated every possible policy. Her entire account got suspended within the hour. The fallout was instant. A few of her influencer clients unfollowed her. A mom she used to work with reposted the screenshot and wrote, "This is who you're trusting with your kids?" It spread fast. But the truly unexpected thing? My family didn't blame her. They blamed me. My mom called first. Said she was heartbroken to see our family like this. That I had pushed Claire to the edge. That I should have handled it privately if I had issues with how things were run. I asked her if she saw the post. She hesitated, then said, she didn't mean it the way it sounded. Right. So it's okay to publicly vilify a child now as long as you don't mean it. Then came the group text. My dad, Claire, my mom. All of them asking me to make things right. There was no apology. No acknowledgement that Lily had been wronged. Just pressure. Expectations. My dad actually had the nerve to say, "At the end of the day, she's still your sister." That line did something to me. For years, I tolerated everything for the sake of that sentence. She's your sister. They're your parents. It's family. I let it excuse every dig, every slight, every silent dinner where Lily was left out and I had to pretend it was normal. So I stopped pretending. I went back through the family trust paperwork. Years ago, our grandmother had set up a modest fund in a joint account for whoever took care of her. Claire didn't visit her once in the final year. I did, every weekend. Grocery runs, medications, company. Claire didn't even show up at the funeral. But somehow her name was still attached to the account, quietly draining it to pay bounce fees and refund charges for her collapsing business. I visited the bank in person. Brought the will. The manager checked everything and nodded. Legally, the funds were mine. I transferred them out. Froze the account. Claire wouldn't see a cent more. The fallout was immediate. She tried to call me 14 times in one night. Left voicemails. Sobbing, screaming, begging. Then she escalated. Called my workplace pretending to be a concerned client. Claimed I was emotionally unstable and harassing her children. I work in accounting. My boss isn't easily rattled. She forwarded the message to HR just in case and then sent me a screenshot with a one-line note. "I'm assuming this is your sister." Then came the final blow. One of Claire's biggest clients, someone with serious pull in the local event scene, emailed her a termination notice and CC'd her vendors. It was brutal and professional. They cited reputational concerns and a pattern of erratic behavior. One paragraph stood out. "We cannot work with a provider who publicly targets a minor over personal disputes." That wasn't from me either. Claire went silent after that. No posts. No calls. No rage texting group threads. Nothing. My mom tried once more, called to say Claire was not herself lately, and asked if I would consider helping her get back on her feet financially. I said no. Not gently. Not vaguely. Just no. My mom sighed and said, "So you're going to turn your back on your own sister?" I said, "She turned her back on Lily first. I'm just finally facing the right direction." And that was the last time I answered any of their calls. For 2 weeks it was dead quiet. No texts, no calls, no new posts. Claire's online presence went dark. Her Instagram was wiped, the Facebook page for Sprinkle and Shine was deleted, and her name stopped appearing in the usual party planner forums and mom groups. At first I thought she'd finally gotten the message. But silence never meant surrender with Claire. I was working late one night, Lily asleep upstairs, when I got an email from an address I didn't recognize. No subject line. No body text. Just a single attachment. A photo. It was a picture of Lily at school. Taken from across the street. Grainy like it was snapped through a car window. My chest tightened. My first thought wasn't Claire. It was worse. Some stranger, some threat I didn't understand. I called the school. They checked the cameras. No suspicious activity. Nothing stood out. But the timing? Too specific. I reported the email, contacted the local police, and installed cameras around my house that same night. The officer who took my report said it might be a scare tactic. Someone trying to rattle me. I didn't mention Claire. Not then. I needed to be sure. The cameras caught nothing in the first few days. Until the third night. That's when I saw her. 2:11 a.m. Claire standing across the street in the dark, staring at my house. She didn't move. Didn't come closer. Just stood there for almost 7 minutes, then turned and walked away. I saved the footage. Didn't send it to my mom. Didn't call my dad. I called a lawyer. Explained everything. The harassment, the threats, the financial fraud, the stalking. I'd been documenting everything quietly just in case. Now I needed it all. The lawyer said something I hadn't expected. Are you aware your sister took out a business loan 6 months ago with your name as a co-signer? I wasn't. Apparently, Claire had used the family account info, old tax records, enough identifying details to pass a basic check. The loan wasn't huge, but it was in collections now. Defaulted. Attached to my credit. That's when it became clear. This hadn't just been personal. It had been calculated. And she wasn't done. 3 days later, my boss received a manila envelope with no return address. Inside, printouts of my bank statements, scribbled notes in pen, and a USB drive. She turned it over to security without opening it. HR called me. I was mortified. But they knew the story already. I told them weeks ago. They were on my side. So it was a warning. Claire wanted to burn every bridge I had left. So I made one final move. I filed a civil suit. For fraud. For defamation. For unauthorized use of personal information. I had the emails, the screenshots, the business records, the footage. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about stopping her before she did something worse. The suit was filed on a Friday. She was served on a Tuesday. She didn't show up to the first hearing. But someone else did. A man. Early 40s. I'd never seen him before. He introduced himself after the session. Said his daughter had gone to one of Claire's parties last year. Then he paused. I think she might have done something to us too, he said. But we were too embarrassed to say anything. He pulled out his phone. Showed me an invoice, twice what Claire usually charged. Then another photo. The same fox costume Lily wore. But it wasn't Lily in the picture. It was another little girl in a different city at a party Claire threw 5 months ago. A prop maybe. Maybe more. Something much deeper was hiding in the ashes. And now I wasn't the only one looking.